Okay.
Yeah, today we're going to check out this great amp by the great Tommy Folkesson. Glad to have you here.
Thank you. This is one of my most common mods, the Mark VII. I made the Mark mods from 1992. I started with the Mark I, and they've all been 4 channels, but I've upgraded them during the years. So this is a Mark VII, and it's a 4 channel, as you can see: clean, crude, crunch, and lead on the foot switch. And there are 12 controls at the back, with the gain, tone, and volume control for each channel. So you can set how much gain and what master volume you like on any channel before you switch it in, so you get exactly what you want. And all these controls on the front are global, so they work the same on all channels. And it's for tone controls as usual, the master, and a byte control, and that's a pre-shape filter control, and somewhat dynamics too, for adapting for different pickups, different guitars, different styles. So it, if you want a very string separated sound with a lot of top, a lot of Marshall nose, you turn it up over 12 o'clock. And if you have a Strat, for example, with thin single coils, you must be under 12 o'clock, or it gets too harsh for your ears. So I use the standard Marshall setup for bass, middle, and treble, just tweak the values a little, and the presence control is normally it's connected to the feedback loop, but I disconnect the feedback loop in most amps. I like the Vox AC30 sound and the Vox AC50 sound, and they have no feedback, so I get a softer response, a more natural response from the output stage. I lose a little attack, that's true, but I have more than I need from the preamp in attack, so it's no meaning to say the same thing twice.
Yeah. Well, it sounds great. So it seems like a trade-off that is worthwhile.
Yeah, I think so. It's I think the power amp is only a horse that should deliver the signal as best as it can to the speakers. That's my idea.
Yeah.
So, and the effects loop is on the front. I try not to change the look of the Marshall because it's so classic. So I put all these channel controls on the back.
Yeah.
Because of that.
How, in what order, if you're going to relate, let's say for the clean channel, for instance, you have a number of controls, or are those only gain controls, or there are some EQ controls at the back as well?
There's a gain and a tone, a treble control, tone control, and a volume master per each channel. Each channel has a gain, tone, and a volume.
Does those come after these or before?
Those come. The gain comes first.
Yeah.
If I take it in order, the signal path is the input tube, the first amp in the input tube, then the gain control, then the second amp in the input tube, and then comes the cathode follower, the distortion tube, and then comes the tone controls. The tone controls at the back, yes, and the volume control at the back, and then comes all these tone controls and master.
Cool. It's extremely versatile.
Yeah. I try to balance each channel so that you have kind of the same color from each of them, but you can. There is more and more gain all the way here, so you can. They kind of go in each other. If you set the clean gain at maximum, it's very like the crude gain in the middle, and so on. So you there's a little bit more mid-range in the pre-shape on the 2 high gain channels, I can say. These 2 are more low gain.
Yeah, and the after having played, you had a really nice surprise. There was like some kind
Suddenly it changed.
What is that function?
That's the pull for metal.
Yeah,
it's in the master here, and when I pull it, it changes the character completely. It's more scoped.
Yeah,
a bigger bass, a bigger top, and a little more gain, and a more scratchy pitch when you scratch attack.
So basically 8 channels then. These 4 with that one is 8 channels.
Yeah.
Cool.
But you can't switch it on with the foot. It's just on the front.
Yeah.
So you have to decide whether you are metal or not.
Yeah. We have all decided that already.
Sometimes we are metal. Okay. Yeah. That's I tried it to be as versatile as possible. That's what I like. As many sweet spots as possible.
Yeah.
So you can really use each control at different settings without getting out of hand or getting something wrong.
Yeah.
So the gain controls are if we take the gain control in the clean channel, it's completely clean at low settings at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and then comes a little distortion in the middle, and that kind of distortion is not the squeaky type. It's more like a hoarse voice. It's growling in the low mid. The distortion overtones is in the low mid, so to speak. So it comes like a growl under the sound and then you get more treble and squeak when you turn up high gain.
Yeah, nice. Well, thank you very much, Tommy. I'm really glad you came and visited.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah. We live close to each other, just 2 hours by car.
Yeah.
So it's easy
with American measurements, it's close.
Yeah.
Sweden, it's not that close, but.
Yeah. Right. So maybe another time too.
Yeah.
When I have.
I'd love that. Anytime, man.
Thank you.
See you.
See you. sådär. Fiberskall som han kallar bogen.
Ja, okej.